This is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, host of a Totally Turtle Sports and Gaming YouTube channel, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
This is Clay McLeod Chapman, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast.
Is it me? Calling it super connectivity. Okay.
Welcome. No, it's Capes and Lunatics, you lunatic.
I don't know, man.
Welcome back. It's Capes and Lunatics. That's right. Welcome back. It's been a while. Welcome back to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, my little over-eager beaver down there in New Jersey. It is.
From my quantum zone prison, Charlie, the Professor Esser.
And the Conqueror herself. It is.
Hey, y'all, it's Lil Hellfire. Don't give Ray any more fuel for that fire, Charlie.
That's not her real name, right?
Anyway. Oh, goodness, everyone. I hope you've all had a great couple of days off before coming in to see this film.
Yep, I saw it on Friday night.
I saw it Saturday night.
I saw it Saturday and today. Today I saw it in 3D.
Did it make a difference to the film at all?
It's a good look for it. I'll say that much. You know, if you like 3D, it's like, oh look, it's in 3D. You know, you get that spatial stuff in the quantum realm, and things come at you a bit better. But you know, it's still the same film. And actually, the first version I saw it was something called the laser projector, which was
like old school or something new.
What? I think it's just they've now upgraded at the AMC's to a laser projector, which is just like it's like a billion laser dots on the screen. And this is what they do when they want to project something like Nazi propaganda on the side of a building. But now for movies. There was a thing in on NPR recently about Nazis in Florida putting swastikas on buildings with lasers. But
that
just
sounds about right.
Yeah, well, you know, it's
we got that whole 225,000 acre fire, so
yeah.
Black plastic burning, baby.
That's all right. We got train derailments up here.
Yeah. Well, there's train derailments everywhere, but that's...
Oh, yeah.
That's for our conspiracy theories chat over on the Patreon.
And as always, New Jersey is the land of plenty and beauty and perfection. I'm sorry, man. It's beautiful here. Nothing bad ever happens in New Jersey. Except for that one politician who recently got shot. But, yeah, there was a politician who recently got shot. No, man, it's sad. It's the lady in her car. She is, Anyway,
we're here to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Which that
escalated quickly.
I know.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Anyways, I believe I just saw on Entertainment Weekly that I believe Quantumania is up to 104 million right now.
Okay, but how much did it take to make?
But again, I mean, it's Sunday's not even over yet. So I mean,
well, I know their preview actually broke Avatar 2's preview.
Well, good for them, because I hate everything about James now. Since he can't make an Aquaman.
Oh, Cameron.
I wish him no luck in life.
Oh.
Although part of me wishes he had done the Namor film, because I guess Abyss was supposed to be Namor or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know, but yeah.
Biscuit.
He took his ball and he made his own court, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's doing okay. And honestly, like I said, I enjoyed it. And my biggest thing is, I think a lot of critics have superhero fatigue, but the movie going public who doesn't see movies every single day or every single week doesn't have superhero fatigue. Since these movies come out like once every couple of months, and then you only go to some of them. Most people who if you want to go to an Ant-Man film, you go to an Ant-Man film, and it's a great film. As Ant-Man films go.
Well, like I said, are some of these critics too? Are they just sick of lore? They like, oh, I now have to learn all this stuff about Kang, and
They never do. They just use the Wikipedia babes. Don't ever let them fool you.
Well, they have to read, so.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not like you have to learn anything about Kang. They explain everything you need to know about Kang in this. You don't even need to really only if you're really that interested do you need to do the second end credit scene. We have to find out what that's about. That might be a little bit interesting.
Well, it's the first movie of Phase 5 too, so it's like this is the villain for the phase, so that's a whole thing too. And he has some back history within the MCU itself, so I can see how that would be annoying.
And I realized while we were standing in the hallway waiting for after the movie, waiting for Danielle to come out of the bathroom, that I don't know if Jonathan Majors realizes this, but any movie he does from now till the end of time, people are just going to yell, "It's another Kang variant!" Because there was like a big poster for Creed. It was just his Jonathan Majors face. I just looked at Luke. I said, "It's another Kang variant."
Well,
he is going against Johnny Storm, so
Oh yeah,
yeah. Not for nothing.
No longer.
It's fascinating, but yeah. I mean, I want to give them lots of props for not overpowering Ant-Man. Especially when he fights Kang. I mean, everything about Kang in this is Kang as a threat. And, when you get to that final scene of Kang versus Ant-Man, and it is just Kang beating the ever-loving pancakes out of the poor guy.
You talk to ants!
Yes. Well, that's a different aspect of it that I love as well, because that is not for nothing. That is how, at least in a lot of modern interpretations, Ant-Man always beats Kang by just sending billions of ants at him.
I mean, it's a handy power if you can have it. Yeah,
actually, in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes one, it's actually cockroaches.
Oh.
And it's just this idea that, you are Kang, you're eternal. It's like, yeah, you know what? Bugs were here before you. Bugs will be here long after you're gone.
Either that or like Avengers 8, his first appearance, like Hank Pym shoots like a acid pellet at him. It's like, oh no, my armor, and then has to retreat. It's just like, really?
Hank Pym is the scientist supreme.
He's something of a scientist himself. Yes, we know.
Yeah, he's
and so is Cassie.
And actually, I gotta give you, this is my favorite interpretation of Michael Douglas's Hank Pym yet.
Oh,
I really felt he totally was in his own. And I don't know if they did any de-aging on him or he just decided to get into shape. But he looked really good throughout this, and
he's still married to that Catherine Zeta-Jones, so he's got to keep up.
You got a young wife, yeah. You got to keep in shape.
Hey, glad she's keeping him healthy,
But probably got him oiling his scalp and doing facials,
Yeah, but either way, he looked great, and he struck me as Hank Pym at his best. And honestly, and again, and I hate to jump to the end, but that scene when the ants come in, and he's just
somebody literally said the ants go marching one by one in my theater screening. I was like, yes, I love it. Canon, it's head canon.
But it's beautiful, and it is just this idea of this overwhelming force of super ants, and it's like, I know you think you're a BA, I know you think you're a BA, Kang, but really, as you said earlier, you're just a man, and that's really the glory of Kang. He is just a man, just like Iron Man.
But you asked about the whole de-aging of Michael Douglas. Did they? I had that same question about Michelle Pfeiffer, because I mean,
Well, they
Stem
actively
cells
de-aged.
do a lot, guys. I don't
I
know if you know
guess,
this. If you
man.
have money and you can take a trip to Canada, stem cells do a lot.
I mean, for a woman in her mid-60s, she does not look like it.
Well, and to be fair, she is very well kept, and
That's
quite
true.
frankly, Marvel has gotten to the point where they're like, yeah, no, we're really good at this now. We've been working on this, and we'll make it look good for it. We will adjust you and animate
Don't pay
you.
too close attention to other CGI.
That's part of the contract. It's like, we'll give you some super soldier serum to keep you young. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, but also they actually, because I mean they actively de-aged her in the earlier scene.
No.
When she
Yeah.
first meets
Oh,
her.
yeah, of course. Yeah. Because that was 30
And
before, yeah.
and once you did that, then you can keep her Titan taut the rest of the movie. It's like we already did the math. It's not that much harder to just track it throughout. We do a Hulk.
Somewhere,
we can do a Michelle
some poor
Pfeiffer.
person is like, no, it's not that simple, idiot. It's actually really hard.
Yeah, sure it is.
What, the CGI?
I mean, just if you even just know anything about After Effects, you know that's.
Yeah. No, I do understand it is hard, but the hard part is usually in mapping and building.
Yeah.
And then once it's built, it is actually much easier to swap it in and out. And that's why, that's
I'll need
why,
a professional to confirm.
well, no, from everything I've read, it's like all the problems with CGI always come at the start of the process, very rarely at the end of the process, because
I don't know. Some of the CGI in Marvel movies is application. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, burn!
Well, then sometimes they just don't feel it's necessary to
They're
pay.
like, this is the fourth movie for the character. We don't care.
Yeah. But anyway, they really looked good, and and again, like I said, this was a really good Ant-Man and Wasp film for Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Douglas. This is the one where they
I only
really
watched
got
it
to
for
act.
Catherine Newton, so as a Supernatural fan, I kind of had to.
What
I
did you-
wanted to skip out on this?
What
but
did
she's
you?
an amazing young actress that you guys all should keep an eye on. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, she did I thought she did a good job. Yeah.
Oh, our Cassie? No, our Cassie was great. I mean,
Although I felt bad for the poor kid that she recasted from.
Oh, from Endgame, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, she wasn't in it a ton. She's basically just like, oh, Dad, you're alive.
I mean, the timing would have worked out for her to be a little older, but like I said, as a Supernatural fan, I was happy to have Catherine get the work.
It's showbiz, man. Tell it to Rhodey.
We dodged a bullet.
It is what it is.
Quite literally, if you know, you know.
Oh.
No, I mean, but this is actually one of the things. One of the things I saw online was like one of the complaints online was someone basically saying, "I wish they hadn't played it so safe." And part of me was just thinking, you have to save room for later. You can't have all the meat and potatoes and dessert in one film. They gave us a lot. They gave us just enough to be interesting.
They gave us MODOK, although it wasn't Patton Oswalt, but whatever.
Yeah, well, they gave us one MODOK.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, yeah, you could. I mean, that
was also another little
that technology exists. Yeah, you can create a new MODOK. But yeah, I mean, for the first MODOK, did it have to be a character we had already seen before? Would it have been weird to just bring in like a character we had never seen before?
It's literally Marvel. They can literally do what they want.
Oh yeah.
So... I mean, this is and I think you said they gave MODOK the MCU treatment.
Yeah,
which is where they just completely took the concept but then made it their own and used Aaron Cross for it, and I think they actually changed the way that he crushes to make it look more MODOK-y when he gets there, with the big head and the small body. But I'm not going to judge. But I do think that it worked out well as it goes. Like I said, aside from the fact that his face does look kind of Arnim Zola-y.
Yeah.
I was just happy to see Jimmy Woo. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I loved all the little characters. I was like,
yeah, for like 2 seconds. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
Randall Park.
I'm glad that Randall Park was in there because I think I missed him the first time I saw it, and I was like, oh,
yeah, because he had like the goatee and stuff this time. Yeah.
But I have to believe Randall Park is still active in the MCU. I don't think I don't think his decision to do Young Rock has buried him in the MCU. I got to feel that Jimmy Woo is coming back.
Nah,
I just hope he's not taking. I just hope his wife's not. The Rock's wife's not his manager. We hate to see what happened to Henry Cavill.
Yeah, well,
I had to bring that up.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that The Rock's wife was Henry Cavill's manager.
Yeah, that told him to make the post that they're like, "Oh, you're actually not coming back. I don't know why you made that post yet."
Okay. Well, to be fair to Henry Cavill, there was a lot of stuff going on at DC, and it was this. It is the classic leap and the tramp and the net will appear. It is a theory that that happens sometimes too. But you'd be surprised how often you speak it into existence in show business.
I told y'all after the freaking Zack Snyder cut, he's never gonna play Superman again in a major movie. Cameo, sure, never. And
well,
for that I always knew. Everybody knew except for him, apparently.
We're gonna see what James Gunn does with all that, because not for nothing, Batfleck's in the new Flash, as well as the other guy.
Well, that movie's been being made for 10 years, babes.
I'm sorry, what?
That movie's been being made for 10 years, literally the whole length of the TV show. So anybody could be in that movie.
Yeah.
It could be old footage. It could be new footage. We'll never really know.
Yes.
But also Bill Murray. Oh my God, I was so excited for Bill Murray.
Man, Bill Murray does make a good villain. I will say that.
He's always made a good villain.
He is
on and off the camera.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is part of me. So here's my crazy fan theory for Bill Murray. We'll see him again, and he's going to come back as the Psycho Man.
Oh, I like that.
Because we see him getting because that character specifically had like a thing that shows you your greatest fear, like that Lord whatever it is. His like his whole way that he maintained power was he had a machine that made people feel fear. So him getting attacked and torn up and maybe having to use some Modaki technology to build himself a new armor, and then he comes back and takes over a large portion, because obviously he didn't want to be called Lord whatever. He fought that tooth and nail. No, he wants to. There's going to be a new power structure once Kang is gone, and that power structure is going to be Psycho Man, and that could very well be our good friend Bill Murray.
And there is a power vacuum in the quantum realm now.
Are you going to bring up the elephant in the room for us DC fans, Phil?
Wait.
Veb, aka David Dashmalian, who's coding the whole DCEU together with
Oh,
all his
yeah.
appearances, has the nerve to be in a Marvel movie.
Well, yeah, he was in the other Ant-Man movies.
I know, I'm just saying. I was just like, no. But good for him getting Marvel money. Good for him. He's a talented actor. I wish he would get a bigger role, honestly, at this point.
Yeah. Well, you do what you can, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. So here's my biggest thing. I was trying to count holes.
Whoa!
Because
As you do.
It said 7 holes. They're not counting the eyes as holes.
No.
And that's what I figured. Now, I would count the eyes as a hole, but obviously it's not a hole. It's because it's got something coming out of it. But arguably it's a hole.
I need that as a drop. Thank you. Please and thank you.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I do want to show something off here. This is what we got. At this, if at AMC, if you're willing to spend some money, if you want to pay basically, honestly, ironically enough,
It's
only
just the size of a soda, a small soda.
Like
yeah,
$30.
the cost of a large popcorn.
True.
You get this and see, you can eat popcorn out of Scott Lang's hat. You can do alas for Ant-Man. I knew him, MODOK. A fellow in chest and most outrageous fancy.
But I mean, speaking of Ant-Man, Paul Rudd once again doing a good job. Not could do humor.
He did get a little overshadowed by the other cast, but he's
But again,
Paul
right?
Rudd. He's Paul Rudd. He's the main guy.
Again, we got a new Cassie. We got we got to introduce the new big bad. For this phase or two.
Yeah.
I just hope he doesn't become the new Captain America, where like his movies just are not about him ever. Like, I don't like that trend. I didn't enjoy that trend.
Well, to be fair, and I'm not trying to minimize it in any way, but
man.
Yeah, I mean, no, but the films should always be about building. Even when they're about Captain America, they were about building out what's out there.
But that specifically only happened to Captain America, honestly, where it was literally like, oh, it's a Captain America movie, but we're going to focus on the Winter Soldier and Black Widow or the Civil War. Like, make that its own movie.
But that's because he's the core. He's the core element.
Everybody knows Iron Man's the core, but it's fine. It's fine.
No,
Iron Man
Look, he's the core.
Iron Man is a self-indulgent billionaire who should have put Rhodey in the suit from the first film, because he should have said, you know what, I need a pilot.
No, you absolutely don't get the government involved. I totally agree with him on that one.
Well, first off,
Rhodey is a G-man at his heart and core. I agreed with Iron Man. Oddly, not one of his worst decisions. Oddly.
Well, maybe with the other Rhodey. I think that
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Terrence Howard there, dude.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if it was intentional, but Darren Cross saying to Cassie, "Oh, how you've changed." I thought that was one of those. One of those things like when Bruce says, "I'm a whole other person now." Look, roles get recast. It happens, and
exactly.
But I mean, you're talking about it not being another Captain America franchise, but again, this is the third Ant-Man movie, Lilith. I think, if with another actor who isn't Paul Rudd, that with some other actors that would not have happened. I don't think you would have gotten a third Ant-Man movie.
No, you would have still got a third Ant-Man movie. It's babes. It's MCU. It's really not about the actors at this point.
Yeah,
it's
about
the characters.
Throw Kang
it's
in
about the characters. If Ant-Man needed to be a thing for 3 movies in the MCU, it does not matter who is Ant-Man. It was going to happen. That's just the way the world works nowadays.
Yeah, but it could have been worse without Paul Rudd.
It could have been worse, but it still would have happened. Yeah. They don't backtrack. They turn into the skin, and it is what it is. These fans are idiots, and they're going to eat it up. That's the mouse way. That's the mouse way. You can't even deny that.
Well, okay. Let's just call the shelter half an entrenching tool and say that the mouse way is, if Paul Rudd is doing the job, we don't replace Paul Rudd.
Exactly. I'm just saying, but whoever it was, if he had not gotten that job, we still would have 3. Absolutely, we would still have 3 Ant-Man movies if the phases demanded it.
Well, no. I mean, because this is the thing. If let's say they had cast somebody.
Uh-oh. I told you.
The internet knows Lilith's right.
You pissed off that idol. You pissed off that idol.
If we had cast someone other than Paul Rudd, who isn't as beloved, and the first Ant-Man kind of flopped, then we wouldn't have 3 Ant-Man films. They would have called in the next actor. They would have called in the next character. It's not like there's not a backbench. They'd have done a Wasp film,
And again,
it already should have been done.
And again,
they have an issue with that. It's fine. Let's just hope we don't get a prequel movie after the character dies.
Well, and again,
shout out to Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson.
Well, again, too, Lilith, you're like, oh, they'll make it happen no matter what. I think they wanted to do a lot more with Brie Larson's Captain Marvel too, and that didn't happen.
She is a nightmare.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The actor
that's
definitely
completely different. Like they don't personally want to do business with her.
Yeah. Oh.
It has nothing to do with the fans hate her. They don't personally want to do business with her, but there's a contract, so they're minimizing as much as they can.
And did we move that movie back again? Because they moved it to July. Now it's back to November again. Did I see that right?
Case in point, babes.
Yeah.
Point.
Well,
meanwhile, they're rejudging it to make the Monica Rambeau character. Maybe she will actually be Proton by the end of that movie. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Well, did you see on that?
Did you see the new cover? That's what she's at the top.
She's at the top.
But
yeah,
I'm like, I don't want a black actress to have to deal with the glass cliff. Like, I'm happy for the actress at the same time, but at the same time, that's a real precarious position to be in. Because that movie's they're already, just the poster alone, there's like 1 million hate comments on it. So it's just like.
Really?
Yeah, oh, it's so woke. I'm like, babes, do you even read comics?
I thought if nothing else, people would
Like,
be
not
like,
at
well,
all?
I thought
just say that and move on.
I thought if nothing else, it would have helped her and like, well, at least she's not Brie Larson.
Well, she's a black woman, so. And then they also is Kamala Khan in there, so it's just like two women that are POC and Brie Larson. Oh, God bless that movie. God bless that movie.
I'm excited for it, honestly.
I'm excited for it too, but I'm not, a ne'er-do-well in my mom's basement that, is stuck in the 80s.
Touch some grass, kid.
Yeah, I'm
a person that actually reads comics, so I'm super excited for these characters to have their own movie. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel included, because that's going to be her last movie.
Well, that's fine. And you know what? Death of Captain Marvel, one of the greatest stories ever.
Exactly.
So you know what?
Oh my God, we're gonna give her cancer.
Absolutely, we are. Mark my words. This is what we're doing. They are retooling that movie. That is why it got pushed back. Mark my words.
I want her to be Teddy's mom. I want that to be the big reveal.
That's cute. You're such a sweet summer child. I love that for you, Charlie.
I think that would be awesome. She was in space for how long? She couldn't have a teenage Skrull son.
She totally could.
Yeah, I mean, it had to go off and send him away because it's too dangerous.
Then he could date Scarlet Witch's son. Aw,
exactly.
Awesome.
Just bring it full circle. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
for recast,
because they brought it full circle with Monica. You know what I mean? So I feel like we could have another full circle moment. Absolutely.
And we're definitely doing Young Avengers. So.
Yeah. See, when it comes to recasting, that's who I worry the most about. Is Billy and Teddy, or not Billy and Teddy, Tommy and Billy.
Yeah.
Because those actors were really good in it.
Yeah, but aren't we gonna age it? Or aren't they gonna have to age them up anyway, though?
Well, yeah, they are aging up. But yeah, I mean, that's the question. Is like, will they get there? And that's the question.
Yeah.
Like when they're ready for it. Especially because we've already got.
If they really want the actors to stay the same and they need a little growth spurt, nothing a little human growth hormone can't fix.
Well, no. You want them, because I don't like the recasting anyway, especially when we've had a real solid thing.
Especially when child actors are good, because those are very
but you do have the built-in excuse. It's like, oh hey, they were basically conceived by magic, so it's like you can shoot, if they look different. Oh hey, magic.
But they did bring them back for the other movie too, so I liked that. So.
WandaVision, yeah.
Yeah. No, Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, Multiverse, yeah.
Yeah.
So I do feel that those actors do have a good lock-in, and they do want them to age into the roles, and they'll be the actual teenagers in the Young Avengers, because But and I love Stature in this. I love that she went big. That was cool.
I somewhere or
what? Well, I was a little disappointed she's not a Stinger, just because my in first introduction to Cassie Lang was as Stinger, not as Stature. And I don't know who actually technically chronologically in our Earth time came first, but I want to feel it was Stinger. And so I liked her as Stinger.
Yeah, Citrus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Evangeline Lilly. I was really excited when it was announced that she was going to be Wasp and everything, but I feel like they've really sidelined her, unfortunately.
Well, again, this was like a bit, this movie only a little over 2 hours, and we had to introduce Kang. We kind of had
down to normal runtimes. Although I feel like Ant-Man movies should be comedies, so should run closer to 90. Like that's just my personal opinion, because I am tired of holding my bladder for 3 hours.
But again, none of these are like complete comedies either. So
that's just the Marvel way. Yes, I know, but I'm just saying it'd be great to get a Marvel movie under 2 hours. It would be.
This one wasn't bad. What was it, like 2 hours and 5 minutes?
2 hours, 5 minutes exactly.
Again, maybe the theater didn't put a half hour of previews before it.
Well, babes, I come in right on time. That is the beauty of assigned seats. That is the beauty of assigned seats.
Oh, I mean, we got there like right at the, it's a,
I don't do commercials in movies or otherwise. I refuse. I barely watch end credit scenes because I feel like they're just glorified commercials for the next. Like, honestly, at this point, I'm so.
I mean, I'm not saying that previews aren't entertaining. Indiana Jones.
If I want to know what's coming out, I will watch it on YouTube if I'm so inclined.
I know. All you children go to the YouTube. I know, because even Luca was like, "Do we have to sit for the end credits?" He's like, "You can watch it on YouTube. Come on."
Exactly. Like, if the traffic's bad, let me tell you, had I gone to like a 6 o'clock showing instead of like a 3 o'clock, I definitely would have watched it on YouTube.
I will say this though. At least if you're a dude, I'm not going to speak to females.
Oh boy.
Between the mid credits and the end credits, you can run, drain the bladder, come back, and you won't miss anything. Got to be fast, and you got to make sure there's not a line. So that's like where it gets to be like complex. You got to do the math. And
boys, watch you on the zip up, okay?
We don't want accidents rushing back in.
You just look. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm just telling you there is. I mean,
you got that giant
Thank you
right there. Just.
It's difficult in a crowded theater.
Oh, please. I'm sure Lilith has probably squatted over a cup. Come on.
No.
That's where I draw the line, sir.
First off, she is a lady with dignity. Thank you very much.
He doesn't listen to salty. I love that Charlie is a sweet summer child. I really do.
Well,
it's the best thing
I have
him.
to believe that you are the best of us all.
That is where I draw the line, though, Charlie. That is the line, clear in the sand.
Okay.
It's because it's just homophobic. That's why.
But it's you have time if you need to, and honestly, the final end credit scene is not that important, and you will probably not know what's going on unless you know who that character is and watched Loki and knew who all those people were in that scene. I mean, I personally think I saw Turner D. Century in the crowd. So,
oh yeah,
nobody tell Matt Kona.
I am.
No, give Jim DeMatteis his shekel. Come on.
It was.
Can we buy the book though? I look out for the little guy. I really, literally need this book. Come on, Marvel.
Yeah, I know it's Audible. I know the book on tape read by Paul Rudd is available.
Oh, that means I'm gonna have to re-up my Audible. I've been trying.
I don't know if it's on Audible. It might just be available for download somewhere.
It's a whole book?
I mean, I not like I want to pirate it. Let's be real. I don't want to activate my Amazon footprint again. So.
Yeah, Look Out for the Little Guy is a book that does exist.
Okay.
I was reading about that. Marvel published a book, Look Out for the Little Guy. I don't know how good of a book it is. I don't know how big of it. It might be kind of
if
like
it's him just reading it. I don't care if it's bad. It's fine.
Yeah, and I do think it's the audiobook by Paul Rudd. I think you can get that. But it's but it might, like I said, it might be the book equivalent of I Can Do This All Day.
Probably is.
Where it's like it's the big items, and then it's just sort of like some meandering, kind of.
It is coming out. It is coming out in paperback, but it says it's not going to be out till September. But you can pre-order it now on Amazon and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, go to Barnes and Noble. I'm sure they can pre-order it.
I was going to say Barnes and Noble probably can get it. Yeah.
You want the
they're
paper
just
version?
As bad, but they're now the lesser evil of Amazon. God, I hate late-stage capitalism.
Well, go to your local bookstore. It's probably published by Marvel Publishing.
Babes, I live in Florida. You think I have a local bookstore?
You think they have
our local bookstore is?
You think they have people who read in Florida besides Lilith?
No, literally, because again, late stage capitalism. I mean, you have like either Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, or the library. That's it.
Okay, I am sorry you live in the dystopia state, Lilith. And You could always move
books
to
is
New
owned by
Jersey.
Amazon. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you look hard enough, nothing's independent anymore.
Lilith, do you want it? Lilith, do you want an early birthday present in September?
No, I don't want anybody to activate their Amazon footprint on behalf of me.
I already have it, so.
Anyway.
I'll do Barnes and Nobles. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, go to Barnes and Noble. They're as good as anybody, you know. I
wanted this to be more of a family movie. Like, I thought that's the vibes we were getting, and I was just like, I mean, it's a good movie, but I was just like, I just really want the Pims and the Langs, you know, just.
Well, they are a family. Cassie's always calling it Grandpa Hank, and Grandma Janet, you know.
I know, but it's like I just wanted it to be like, you know, the Swiss Family Robinson type of adventure instead of like all this mayhem and torture and beatings.
You know, it's a superhero film, Lilith, you know. It's not Gilligan. They're not lost in the quantum zone. That's the Fantastic Four film. That's coming later.
You know what? Touche. You are absolutely right. That is where we're going to get some Gilligan Island lost family shenanigans for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
if they don't, I will be very, very disappointed.
No, I am certain that there's going to be some kind of there's going to be something in Fantastic Four. It's not done yet. Matt Checkman hasn't said anything. There was a very big deal where he had a lunch with Mila Kunis, and everyone's losing their stuff over that. But I'm not particularly worried about that. I think it's fine if he had a lunch with Mila Kunis. Maybe she's going to be Ben Grimm. It could be fun. Maybe she's playing Aunt Petunia. Well, you know, it's never doubt Marvel to just really throw you a curveball.
Oh yeah, we do. We do some hot ants, don't we?
Yeah.
I was gonna say flashback from Marissa Tomei's Aunt May. I don't know, maybe.
Ironically, Aunt Petunia is canonically a hot aunt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because she married.
Because it was John Byrne.
Ben's elderly uncle. And was actually still pretty hot. But you didn't know that until, like, I think the 90s when she finally shows up.
Burn. Of course it's Burn.
Oh, and it's just like, yeah, you know. But that's the thing. So, honestly, I think she'd make a great Aunt Petunia. I think she would be...
plot twist. Her and Ashton Kutcher are Sue and Reed. Plot twist.
I'm not going to fight it. I'm not in the slightest.
He's like, anything's better than that Krasinski guy.
You know, I will tell you this. Kutcher is that tall, lanky kind of guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's a guy that you could see just his arm stretches, and you're not going to think it's weird at all. So, much to Maz's plot point about being the tall, lanky person, and how that has to work. Why he does not think Henry Cavill would be a good Reed Richards.
I agree, but for
That's
other
fine.
reasons.
But Lilith, the book, yes, will be available. It looks like Barnes and Noble, and it looks like they might be getting it at Target and Walmart too.
Oh
so.
well, if it's, I'll give Tarjay my money. That's fine.
Yeah, it's going to be out there.
Oh yeah, come on, it's Disney. It's going to be out there.
Money. Whatever they have to do to get Lilith's money, they will say, Lilith, here you go. Where would you like us to put this?
Hey. For legal reasons, I cannot answer that.
Moving right along.
All right, so yeah. What
Boys, don't answer that in the chat either. Keep it classy.
Yes, our patrons.
You
You know what? They really want to make some money. Put out some of those Ant-Man cakes for like Baskin Robbins or something.
Oh well, I don't know, man. I think Baskin Robbins might be a little upset that they implied the cake did not take. Now, granted, they established within it that this was not a guy who should be making the cakes.
Yeah, he came out of retirement.
Yeah, he came out of retirement. He doesn't make the cakes. It wasn't a good cake, and he made it poorly. Honestly, Baskin Robbins' relationship with Marvel right now, I don't even know what it is.
Honestly, they're owned by Dunkin' Donuts. It could be a lot worse. If you know what's going on with Dunkin' Donuts, if you're a Dunkin' lover, you know we're going through some issues right now. So this is the last thing they needed was a bunch of Marvel nerds going, aha! Starbucks is better.
That's all I'm saying. Tim Hortons forever, man. But what I will say is that I mean, Baskin Robbins had a lot of press in this again with the Baskin Robbins Ant-Man as a variation in it, and that is interesting just in the sense that it suggests not only that these randomized Ant-Men were coming from that moment, but that possibly they're pulling in from other points in time,
which would make
which
sense with
I
the Kang
think
threat.
is a big deal, because here is my crazed fan theory.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready,
boys?
When they finally send Kang into the improbability engine, as he's falling into it, you see basically a silhouette of him split off. And they're like, he's dead, right? But if there is a split off version of him that maybe falls
It's a time remnant, Phil.
Yeah, that Kang may not be dead and may yet be he who remains. That's
Victor Timely, baby. That's all I gotta say.
Well, that may be who Victor Timely becomes.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's the one lost in time who got thrown back, who becomes the gentleman entrepreneur at the turn of the century.
Or does that
confirmed bachelor?
Or does that double get shot back to like ancient Egypt and become Ramatut? That's where Ramatut comes from.
Well, no, we saw Ramatut.
I know, but maybe that's where he comes from.
They gave us a couple of options.
I love seeing Ramatut in full Ramatut regalia. I mean, to me, that was just the best. Just the idea that there's a Ramatut that is still a Ramatut, and he's like, no man, I never met no Fantastic Four. Thank you kindly.
I mean, honestly though, like they do ruin everybody's lives that they touch. Look at poor Victor Von Doom, just minding his business. Listen, I'm a Victor apologist. It's fine. You're just gonna have to deal with it.
Well, yeah, we haven't gotten Victor yet, so we'll see what happens with it. Honestly, here's what I'll say about Victor. He's actually pretty chill being the dictator of his little kingdom until Reed Richards shows up and starts getting press. It's like so many of Reed Richards' enemies are just guys that couldn't deal with someone getting more press than them. And it's just like weird because
that tells you everything you need to know about Reed Richards. He could have just stayed out. He could have just minded his business.
No. Doom was all happy in Latveria putting his name on buildings until somebody started showing him up. Then he threw his little hissy fits.
Well, I mean, the thing about Reed is that he did seek publicity. That's canon, because he wanted to make sure his family did not feel like monsters.
Nah, he wanted money for his experiment.
And so did Kris Kardashian. So what do you want?
Wow!
And hey, if you build...
now look what we have!
Here we go.
Keeping up with the Fantastic Four.
Keeping up with the Fantastic
Dear Disney Plus. And Johnny is Kim. Make no mistake about it. Johnny is Kim.
But I would absolutely see that as a possibility within that. But the idea is that so all of the villains get mad because Reed Richards is more popular than them, and he can't do anything about that because he's got his own problems. And the fact of the matter is, if he wasn't objectively better than all of them at what he does, it really wouldn't be a problem. But the fact of the matter is that he was objectively better. It's like, no, I'm actually 4 steps ahead of all of you, and I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude about it, but it's just where we're at. And I'm more than happy to just let you all have a happy life, and I'm just going to raise my family. I just don't want my family being seen as freaks and monsters. And if you can't deal with that, I'm sorry.
And that's how you can sell Fantastic Four as like one of the originals. It's like, we have way worse now. Just Ben Grimm is like nothing about your eye. Like literally, he just shops at the big and tall store and he's fine. Get a hat and a little trench coat, you're good to go. You blend in. You blend into Marvel's New York perfectly.
You just got to go to the big and tall. No.
The The big and grim stories I like to refer to it as.
Yeah, but hey, no, I'm gonna tell you, I'm about big grin size. So it's like I know they make those trench coats in my size now. You know I love my hat.
Cosplay. Oh, the Halloween episode, obviously this year.
But there's so much stuff in the Marvel universe now. Everyone's probably just gonna be like asking Ben Grimm, "Are you an alien?" No.
Well, although to be fair, how long until just rock people are just, and in New York,
Exactly.
It's sort of like if you ever watched the Venture Brothers and the one person who's got like the mushroom face. And they're like, well, why does he get to be a mushroom face? Because he earned those scars, man. Don't you?
You just look. If you don't watch Venture Brothers, you just had to be there. It's like Rick and Morty, but better. There, I said it.
Oh, way better. And also, no, so far,
it's not.
No problematic people.
Cartoon Network doesn't have the greatest track record of this one.
Oh yeah, But yeah, I mean, Doc Hammer so far is okay. So we're gonna say. But yeah,
I really like the quantum realm though. I enjoyed them giving us those little bits of like tidbits of like what happened while Janet was there.
Oh yeah,
it was beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's like this whole power structure and like you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, and I also love the idea that there's like there's a quantum realm and then there's a quantum realm below the quantum realm. Like you just couldn't get this far.
It was giving me H.G. Wells' travel machine, the time machine.
But I did love, my favorite line in that was like, "Wait, are your buildings alive?" It's like, "Are all of your buildings dead?" It's just a little sad when you think about it. It's like, yeah, all of our buildings are sadly dead.
And what about the menace Kang was talking about? He's like, something's coming. So
yeah, it's him.
Same thing he said when he was He Who Remains. It's like, you can kill me, but understand that actually I was the finger in the dike. I know you don't like me, and you don't. Hey.
Yes, we know.
Wrong with the finger in the dike, but so long as it's consensual. But it is the idea that, look, I have this vision of a flat timeline, a flat circle timeline where things can continue. And my variants don't want that because they want to have their fun and their adventures and control their emperor, their timelines, and be their adventures, much like the original Kang when he first goes back in time. I want adventure. Or Ramatut, actually, I think technically.
Well, yeah, Ramatut was first, yeah, and then he tries to go home, overshoots by 1,000 years, lands in the 40th century, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway.
But I mean, once again, because I think they mentioned
just stop and ask for directions, man.
Oh, it's exactly.
Mandel, if he can't do that.
But no, like I think they mentioned in Loki, but once again, Kang mentions incursions, so I'm just like. Are we getting, I know we're getting a Secret Wars. Is it going to be 2015 Secret Wars?
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either.
Yeah,
But it almost has to be though. But like Marvel can surprise you sometimes.
I want Battle World.
I will tell you this. I will tell you
merch if it's Battle World.
Just to back it up, has any of you seen Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur yet?
No, I haven't. I've been meaning to.
I didn't even know it was out until I saw a commercial, so it's out now.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a kid's cartoon.
Yeah.
It's the Marvel equivalent of Teen Titans Go, but I got to be a little bit better.
Are you familiar with Spidey and his Amazing Friends? Is it that same artwork and people or no?
No. Well, I don't know who's producing it.
Okay.
But I do know Spidey and his Amazing Friends, which is a much more kid down.
Yeah, it's like
it's like Disney Junior. Yeah, isn't Moon Girl on Disney Plus? Yeah, so it might be a little different.
Yeah, well, I think they both are, but that's like Paw Patrol versus like Amphibia, and this is like at an Amphibia level. But I
understood that reference.
The last episode, which I haven't seen yet, is Moon Girl versus the Beyonder.
Wow, really?
That's what it says. I haven't watched it.
Actually, if you ever read her comic book, no, that tracks actually. Now that I think about it, it actually does track a little bit.
And
But
they're doing more stuff with the
Rocky Mountain
Beyonder too.
not
Yeah,
fair
the
Yeah.
comic.
to the Beyonders, but I'll allow it at this time.
I mean, they're doing more stuff with the Beyonder in the comics too. So
Yeah, she
I'm
just
thinking
had that weird crossover too in the comics. So when Devil Dinosaur went missing, she had like a 3 arc with like Wolverine, a couple other people. So
Yeah. So far I've only watched the first 2 episodes. They're enjoyable.
are they like the 20-minute length or?
Yeah, they're actually a bit long. They're surprisingly long for a children's cartoon. But they build a lot of lore and it's a lot of fun and they have a lot of interesting kind of like one of the characters she has to face is the internet troll. And he's like an actual troll. Which yes,
So
I know
apropos.
Perich also did. So but he's like actually like a symbiote that took over someone and turned them into a troll underneath the George Washington Bridge, or no, not the George Washington Bridge, the maybe the Manhattan Bridge, I think it was. But
a lot of blondes under that George Washington Bridge.
yeah. Anyway, so there's that I think that was the last episode I saw because like the first one is her fighting her teacher who is also like an electric lady because there's all these blackouts going on and it's a lot of fun. It's a really enjoyable thing. But like I said, yeah. So there's going to be a Beyonder in it, and they've been doing a lot with the Beyonder in the comics. Now that doesn't always translate to the movies.
Yeah.
But
nowadays it kind of does.
It wouldn't surprise me that as everything decays, that we don't get a Beyonder. You know, it wouldn't surprise me. But that's just my theory. What's yours?
I mean, we're getting. I never thought we'd. Yeah, I wasn't sure we'd ever see the day we got the High Evolutionary, but he's coming in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's going to be great.
That movie's not out yet.
No, May.
Yeah,
Guardians 3, May. Yeah. Yeah, so you know if you would sit through the previews, will help.
Again, I curate my life. If I wanted to know that there was a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie, I would know that there was one coming in.
Yeah, High Evolutionary and that douchebag Adam Warlock.
Hey now.
What?
You be nice to Adam Warlock.
He's a cocky a-hole. Come on.
My favorite. Hello.
No, he's a little too salty even for you. All right.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh my.
He's obviously gonna be way toned down for the MCU.
Nah, true.
It's gonna be cracking jokes and shooting water guns. Mark my words. I feel like the next movie might be more Cassie focused. They just gave so much focus to Cassie. She's an activist. They're bailing her out of jail, or maybe just setting her up for Young Avengers. I don't know, but she got a lot of screen time.
No, you know where we're going to see her next. She's going to be in the end credits scene. She's going to meet Kamala at the end of the Marvels. Watch.
Ooh, you know what? I wouldn't doubt it. Which I think would be super cool.
Oh yeah, because that's going to be setting up Young Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you think it's going to be is it going to be a TV show?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they haven't made any official announcement yet. Yeah, no. So.
But we all know. We've known since like Hawkeye, basically.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's going to be both, they start off with a TV, and then jump to a movie. I don't know, but Thunderbolts is coming first, so.
Yeah. Don't know how I feel about that.
I know, it's just going to be like, U.S. agent and
Bucky getting at it. Every episode, Mark.
And like Ghost and Yelena, and I'm like, damn it.
That's not the Thunderbolts I wanted to see.
No.
But it's the MCU's Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I guess.
Is he okay?
I don't know. Is he peeing in that Ant-Man helmet? I don't know.
He might be.
Tristan, don't put that on until we wash it. Man, $30 for that thing? I mean, I know it's movie theater prices, but
yeah, I was like, just fill that up with soda. That's about the same price.
Hell, if I'm paying that price, I'll just spend the extra and go get a Marvel Legends for.
How much is that?
I don't know. I mean, some of those
that's
are probably
like a good $150 though.
Yeah.
It's nice to have Ant-Man merch though. I mean,
oh yeah.
I don't go to AMC, so
We didn't used to, but now we are because our theater closed. Now we have to go to the one behind the mall.
Why is it always behind the mall? weird. Like,
that seems to be the sweet spot around here, at least, because the theater we were going to closed. It wasn't behind a mall, so now we're going to go behind the mall.
I used to loathe going to a movie theater inside a mall or near a mall. Like, it is just something about it I just do not enjoy. I like an old-fashioned like movie, mom and pop movie theater.
Exactly.
Where they like move the letters on the marquee. Like that's the kind of movie theater experience I prefer.
You got to come to New Jersey, Lilith. We got both.
When I lived in New York, I did go across. I did the Bridget Tunnel thing for a few things, like the mall.
But New Jersey, it's like New York, but like half the rent.
Depends on where you want to live in Jersey.
There's a reason for that.
Like Hoboken is actually more than Manhattan, obviously.
Yes, the reason for it, Phil, is that we intentionally drive down the price of rents in New Jersey with horrible tales of New Jersey. We actually publish a magazine called Weird New Jersey just to scare people off. This is the inspiration for Scooby-Doo. We're a bunch of people who, as part of a real estate scam, have scared everyone away from New Jersey just so that we can have all this lovely New Jersey to ourselves.
So it's a landowner.
Careful! Mindy Kaling might hear this. It might do a terrible hatchet job on New Jersey. So careful.
Hey, so it's a rich landowner dressing up as a New Jersey devil.
Something like that. Yeah. Hey, we actually invented the New Jersey Devil, so that's actually a sad story because it's actually about a rivalry between Ben Franklin and another newspaper publisher, and like the guy's kid died, and Ben Franklin was basically just a real big.
He's the original Jeff Bezos. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, he's not a nice person. Although I do gotta say I did love the redemption arc at the end of the day for Darren Cross.
Oh yeah, he is not a dick. Yes.
Don't be, and it is, and honestly, I don't think Patton Oswalt even could have given that as much passion as he did. I thought that it worked well. Patton Oswalt, I love him. Don't get me wrong. I think Patton Oswalt is honestly one of the best actors who can play both a schlub, and a dick equally well.
Well, in Veronica Mars, he plays one hell of a villain. So
yeah, no, he can do it all. Honestly, I have no doubts in him. If he was not already Pip the Troll, I'm sure they might have brought him in for MODOK, because he did nail MODOK very well. But
not
he's already
anybody but you and me saw it, Charlie. Apparently, it came and it went. There was no fanfare. So I was that's a bummer.
We have not seen the last of the Eternals. That's the thing. Marvel doesn't care if you don't like their films. They're telling a story, and eventually, that's the story point's going to come back. They may have to do something with it. They may have to finagle it, but they're going to make it come back, and you're going to love it when it comes back. They take notes. Unlike DC, they say, okay, they liked this, they didn't like this, this is what they liked, this is what they didn't like.
No, DC has been doing what they wanted since 2011, and they've suffered for it as a company. I can agree as a DC fan. As a business person that has stock in both places, yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, well, do you still have stock in DC now that it's no longer, or is it still Warner's? No, it's no longer AT&T.
Warner's Discovery, isn't it?
It's Warner's Discovery. And they've decided that they're going to keep Discovery as its own app, which is I already knew they were doing all the things that they were doing as tax write-offs. Like, it was clear as day. Like, I honestly don't know why they didn't burn the Flash film for the insurance and the tax purposes. Like, somebody really wants that movie to come out. I don't know what Ezra has on these people, but it's something big, and I'm going to find it.
I think it might just be artistic integrity that it looks really good.
Babes, no, it actually doesn't. It really doesn't.
Got me excited for it.
Artistic integrity, DC.
That's a trailer. Trailers lie, especially DC. Trailers lie.
This is true.
No, that's one thing I can never say. Sure, the CGI might be a little shoddy if it's a third or fourth film in a character's franchise, but it looks good for the most part. As Marvel does. They put the little mouse magic on it, and it'll be a good film. Well, it'll be a good movie. Maybe not like an excellent artistic expression like Babylon, but Babylon flopped. So what does anybody know? What does anybody know?
Well, artistic expressions are a different thing. There's different movies you make for different reasons.
Exactly.
It's like
this
not
is a
everything.
Money-making machine. I totally get it.
But that's the real thing. Is not everything has to make money.
No.
No.
Babes, do you know where we live? Are you okay?
You have to understand what's called a long-term investment
Yes.
versus a short-term investment.
DC does not have a clue about that. Warner's as a whole does not have a clue about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say that
Need the money, gimme.
Disney does. They're founded on the long game. Quite
exactly,
honestly.
and like most of their biggest money makers are all flops. So that's the lesson.
Fantasia, I love it. It's great, but Fantasia and Fantasia 2000, perfect examples of that movie being a flop, but they wanted it to make it a thing. And it's beloved. It's beloved, and when it comes out of the vault, it sells out every time now.
Yep, and you can sell a lot of pink elephant coffee mugs, It's like,
I get it. Like I said, I might not like every single movie in the MCU. Hell, I probably don't like 3/4 of it, but you can't argue with the money that it's made and the fans that love it.
I mean, just look at how much space Robin Hood takes up from Disney. And that was a cheap film that at best made a little money, but like it exists rent free in so many people's heads.
It's the Fox. Let's just be real.
Well,
all
yeah,
the furries.
look.
That is a movie for furries, whether you knew you were a furry or not, and that's what that's about.
You know what? If
you take away the eyebrows, is he still sexy? That's how you know. That's how you know. If you take the eyebrows away from the anthropomorphic animals and you still find them sexy, you're a furry.
I think that there's a lot of things that people find sexy in theory that is not sexy in reality. And I think furries are one of those things where I think that, yeah, everybody finds sexy animals sexy in theory, but not in practice.
I would hope.
I want a
I did a whole deep dive on furries one time, and man, that's more wild than bronies. That is a whole Patreon episode, Phil. Remind me.
I'm that kind of freak. I still don't get shoes, man.
What shoes?
Shoes.
He needs bootlickers.
Well, I don't know if they lick them. I don't know what they do with them. I just know that there's a lot of people for whom shoes are a trigger, and I like legs in shoes, so I can see that. But like just the shoe doesn't do that for me. But that's just me.
I might do an investigative piece on the shoe fetish as well.
Oh my!
Put it on the list.
I'm happy to go down that rabbit hole with you, Lilith.
But no, I think that this was a solid film. I kind of just wanted more. I don't know, like. I knew, like, we have to set up Kang. I get it. And, like, I love Jonathan Majors just as much as the next person. This is definitely going to be the next 3 years is his year, you know? But, like, the villain's cool. Like, I'm glad that they're actually putting forethought into the villain finally. Like, I've never really cared for a Marvel villain at all, outside of Scarlet Witch, because she has personal ties, which makes
She's not a villain. She's just misunderstood.
And that's your personal opinion, man.
Oh!
Until she brings back the mutant, she is a villain! I know it's her!
The mutants were always there. You just didn't talk. We just didn't talk about them. It's like gay people.
It was her.
The
She did it.
You know?
I'm telling you.
They were always there. But then all of a sudden,
yeah, they were always there at Fox for sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, for what it's worth, that's sort of the thing about life is that there's so many things that exist all the time, but no one ever talks about it. And then suddenly someone starts talking about it, and it's like, where did all of these people of this nature come from? It's like, dude, they were literally there.
That reminds me of the Scooby-Doo fan. They're like, where did all these Scooby-Doo fans? Babes, you do realize this is like a 50-year-old franchise?
Yeah, you know.
We literally just had Scoop. Like, you okay?
Anyways. But yeah, so no, the mutants have been in the MCU for the entire time. We just don't talk about them. Probably because Professor Xavier uses his powers to keep it quiet. Because he knows that people.
Like he's using his powers to pick up chicks. I don't think that's the reason we don't talk about him.
Well, that too. He's very powerful. He can do many things. That's why he built Cerebro. I can multitask now.
You think there's going to be another? This is probably the last Ant-Man movie, but we'll just use the characters again. Outside of not putting it as the
I mean, it might be a while. Who knows? I mean, Thor got 4 movies, for God's sake. I mean,
yeah, and they may have learned their lesson from that.
That's what I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Yeah. Hey, I liked it. So I'm just saying that, but I know that it's.
And again, they might, instead of doing an Ant-Man 4, they might do a Stinger Stature 1 movie.
I think the next movie that we're going to see these guys in is West Coast Avengers. I think, or something like that, or West Coast Avengers series, or something like that. That we're going to get Stature building her own Avengers, and Scott.
They do need to open up the world to outside of just New York. I kind of agree to that.
Yeah, but we're going to get these people that are building out something, and it's going to be and like Scott.
I say they need to do the Great Lakes Avengers first, though.
What?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Mr. Immortal is great, although I did not like his interpretation in She-Hulk. But they did say he had a child. So I would love to see his child, who also has immortality powers, try to use the powers for good.
Yeah, well, wouldn't the West Coast Avengers make more sense? Because don't Scott and them all live on the West Coast? Yeah.
I'm just saying the whole Midwest and like superhero lore is like flyover state. I hate it.
I know. I agree. Trust me, I agree.
But
I have always felt Detroit needed a better superhero team.
Unless we just
excuse me, Justice League was just fine.
No, I understand that that's in DC. I didn't read those as a child. Had I known there was a Detroit-based superhero team in DC, I would have picked that up, but no one told me. We didn't have the internet back in those days. You have to understand.
How old are you? No,
I'm
because I'm old now too. Like, a kid said something like a dark room.
That was like the 80s.
You don't know what a dark room is?
90s. And
no, if you're putting media
where it hurts, man.
Well, if you're old, if you remember putting media in any kind of player, yeah, you're old.
For real, like even MP3 players are now vintage. You know what? Just let me off the spinning rock at that point.
It's okay, Grandma.
That's okay. I still know how to burn CDs and DVDs and Blu-rays, so whatever.
All right, baby.
Who doesn't? I mean, that's just.
Look, somebody literally asked me, somebody that was like 20. They're like, because most computers nowadays they don't actually make the bays. You have to buy external accessories now.
Oh yeah, you don't get a disc or drive. You have to buy one if you want one. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's old technology. Now everything is just. It's just ephemeral.
But now that Netflix has shown its ass and everybody now understands the importance of owning media once again, who's got the last laugh? I want to know.
You know what, Lilith? Vinyl came back. Paper never went away. Clearly,
I still have tapes, man. I don't care what anybody says. I have cassettes. I think that's the best.
I was gonna say I have most of my CDs. I only get tape, but CDs.
No. I'm telling you, it's something about putting a cassette in. It's just rewinding, or when it comes out and just taking that pencil, man. If that doesn't take you back.
Cassettes are nice. I enjoy cassettes. But
CDs have always been the bane of my existence. Even with the so-called anti-skip technology, I was like, what? At that point,
are you getting them dirty, scratching them up? Oh,
listen, I've spent many a dollar on a Sony Walkman anti-skip technology, and it's bunk. It is bunk. It is bunk. I'm just.
You can spill a soda on a cassette and wipe it off, and it's fine. That's
what I'm saying.
I know. I love cassettes. I think that was like the best technology ever.
That was peak. It was peak.
Well, it was peak convenience, is what I will say.
And I'll go out on a limb even further, and I'll say Betamax was better than VHS, but Sony and their need for proprietary garbage killed Betamax.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to say that video cassettes in all of their forms are not that good.
You gotta have a forehead.
They all have four heads.
VCR. No, not all of them. Not all of them.
All the ones I've ever had, because the technology just got so cheap eventually. It's like, yeah, I'm sure that if you had industrial grade, you know, oh, and I used to record on those on the really fancy ones when I worked at the the TV production company, but it's like, honestly, HD is better. Record on a drive. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. You lose the soul in it, but it's fine.
Uh, First off, you put the soul in the writing and the acting. Anything else, it's just gravy. If you don't have the soul in it, when the writing and the acting, it's not going to show up because it's on vinyl or tape or anything. I'm sorry.
Our media had holes.
Exactly. You get it, Phil. You get it.
But what I do think that degradation over time is maybe even a selling point. That the fact that it can't last makes it more art. The fact that it can always be reproduced at exactly the same rate probably takes away from it because it's no longer as magic. It's no longer as rare.
Oh, we're all
But then again, it's
hipsters.
also beautiful that things don't have to be rare, and they can just be spread out.
Spread them out.
Ugh.
On that note, let's totally give our grades, I guess.
Go ahead, Lilith. I know you're the harshest one here, so let's see what did you give it?
Okay, if we're ranking it among just the Ant-Man movies, I'll say it is the second best. I prefer the first one, this one, and then I'll say number 2 is probably my least favorite out of the trilogy. Out of all the Marvel movies, still give it a B+. Solid B+. I feel like I needed a little more character work. We're kind of relying on the villain a little too much too early in the game for my personal liking, but still a solid, fun movie. Looks great. Love the scoring on it. Kept my attention. So, and it was short. Thank God it was so much shorter too. I think they're really starting to dial in the formula now, and they're like, it doesn't need to be an event. 3 hours long, hold your bladder kind of thing,
Especially if you're doing 2 to 3
because we're in
a year.
phase 5, baby. At this point, if you don't have it figured out,
and especially if you're doing 2 or 3 a year, they all don't have to be 2.5, 3 hours long.
Exactly, and you got the TV shows too to supplement. So it's just they have a whole media franchise thing going right now. So it's like I think this is like the first instance where they're like trying to dial it in and take it back to like the before times of movie selling.
All right, Charlie, what did you give it?
I'll give it a solid gentleman's A. I'll give it an. So here's what I'll say: as an Ant-Man film, it's absolutely an A. As a general Marvel film, I guess I could go to A- because I think it had a little silliness that not everyone is going to be okay with. I like the silliness, so for me, the silliness is fine. But I know that everyone's mileage varies. I will say that I liked the way they handled Kang. I liked the fact that they defeated Kang. I liked everything about how they handled it. They established a threat, while at the same time also making it a surmountable threat. And when you compare this to the way they handled Thanos, who was just a guy in a chair and an imagination of a threat, who never actually even really came into activity until
Infinity War.
And by then already had a Power Stone. And so don't even tell me that it's not the Power Stone making him be a threat. I enjoyed it. Oh, one thing I really got to say, I want to give this big shout out. If you are a fan of The Black Hole, which was Disney's big space opera many years ago to sort of answer to Star Wars, there is so much taken from the aesthetic and the design from Black Hole, the two-barreled guns, the way the minions look. Everything really calls back to the Black Hole, so I loved that. There's just so many little things in this film that if you want to enjoy it, it's there. But if you are just going in to look for a reason to be upset, I understand why. Like I said, I understand why critics upset. They see a lot of films. They're kind of sick of always seeing films, and this was
And get
another.
a new job.
Yeah,
Like
well,
honestly.
really, but also that's the thing is, and also when you get into that spot where if you always say things are good, then people think, well, you just always say that's good. It's like, so you have to sort of find ways to say it's not as good. Like I said, I think the Darren Cross stuff was probably where it was at its weakest. But aside from that, I loved it. So, Gentleman's AA minus, and I would see another Ant-Man film, but I'm more excited about the West Coast Avengers, led by Cassie Lang.
Justice for Wasp.
Yeah, I think I probably got to agree with Lil's B plus. I mean, I enjoyed it. I had fun with it, like she said, or like Swanian said. It was fun. I mean, Kang. I know you were like, oh, we did so much with Kang already, but I think it's them saying, okay, guys, pay attention. This is another Thanos level threat, or even worse because it's time travel and all this other crap. And
Yeah, time travel. We'll have to keep an eye on it. It can get messy pretty quick.
Yeah, and for an Ant-Man I enjoyed all the characters, but for an Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, I think the two characters who got the least in this movie were Ant-Man and the Wasp.
But you know what?
Titular, Phil.
Yeah. It depends on which Ant-Man and the Wasp you're talking about, Phil.
Well, yeah, Hank and Janet came out freaking.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Not gonna hold you on that one for sure. Maybe that was the haha moment.
Yeah, there's more than one Ant-Man and more than one
Wasp.
Wasp.
You in, figure you're gonna get a little Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, and you get the Douglas and the Pfeiffer.
Well, because
I'm good with.
And to be fair, I think that Ant-Man and the Wasp are in their sort of middle-aged years, whereas Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne are ready to get back into it. They're in their retirement years. They're in their let's go out with a bang.
Well, speaking of, they experimented, and now they're ready to come back together. Yes.
And like I said, the scene with Michael Douglas and the ants, it's just perfect. It is just the perfect scene where he's just like, no, I got a lot of ants. I like ants. And you have not faced my ants. And that is just awesome.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, yes. So, there's our review, kids. Go see Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
While you can, because the theatrical windows have been getting smaller and smaller in this post-COVID world.
Yeah, but again, it's like it's Disney, and it made over 100 million this weekend.
Yeah,
I could see them keeping it for
60 days now. That's
ridiculous. Is it
60 or 90? Right? Like I remember it used to take years for something to come on.
Oh yeah, because when did Wakanda Forever came out? What, November? It's on Disney Plus already.
Yeah, that's about 90 days.
90 days.
Yeah, 90 days, and that's how it works now, and that's fine.
Are Disney movies? Are Marvel movies even allowed to be at the dollar theater? Or excluded? Because I feel like 90 days definitely excludes them from that.
Well, I wonder if dollar theaters are willing to pay the price for a Disney film.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. That's a hefty price, right?
Yeah, because Disney's like, we don't need you.
Well, no, it's not even
to
that.
be more accessible for their fans.
I'm sure that
you
there
have
is
to have that look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a dollar theater price for Disney films, but probably maybe like after a year they come out at the dollar theater. So like you'll see,
once
like
it's on TV, then it'll be.
Yeah, exactly.
By then they've made all their money back that they're going to make back on it. So.
Yeah, and so it's like, you want to, and to be fair, I'm sure people will go see it at the dollar theater for that because they're still good films, and there is something nice about going to a dollar theater.
Yeah,
get your steel popcorn and your milk duds and your soda pop.
Well, I'm gonna be real. AMC theaters, at least the ones that I used to go to, popcorn was still anyway. So. Yeah.
Ones I go to here.
Popcorn technically still popcorn? Like I don't know. It's bad for your teeth. I wasn't allowed to have it, so I don't really. I have a whole thing about popcorn. So.
Yeah, I will say this. As a person who used to work in the theater, where yes, we would pop big bags of popcorn days in advance. I will say that in at least at the theaters I go to now, I can definitely discern the difference between the popcorn they have and the popcorn that we used to serve. So I definitely think that the popcorn game has been stepped up.
Oh yeah, you
Or
can
is
be
it just
serving.
the butter and salt?
Yeah, well, when you can't be serving day old popcorn. You know how many Karens are out there? Come on.
Oh, they still do.
Oh, they never cared when we did it back in the 80s, man. That's all I'm
Like
saying.
I said, put a little more butter and a little more salt on it. Who's gonna know?
Yeah.
Who's gonna know?
Hey-o.
But I will say this is like the modern popcorn we get now. It seems to be warmer and doesn't need the extra butter and salt. You can put it on; they have it there, but it's not the stacked up popcorn that we used to have in the 80s. So
Somebody's muffins getting buttered. That
Poor
ain't my
Orville Redenbacher's rolling over his.
You get good microwave popcorn, love. Come on.
Roll the credits, Phil.
All right, let's get out of here. All right, so yes, kids, that's the review. Come back next week. I'm going to be talking to Todd Stashwick, who is appearing on the final season of Star Trek Picard. That just the first episode just premiered. So again, anyone
Excellent get. I'm very happy for you.
Again, anyone can join me, but I had to go through PR people, so it's at a weird time. It's at 5:15 on Wednesday afternoon. So thinking
if you can, be sure to join Phil in the comments at least, boys.
Yes.
And lady.
My only hope is Rob Southgate. Everyone else has jobs.
Nice.
No, I'm hoping Rob can join me because he knows Todd really, you know, they went to school back in the day. So.
Didn't you guys talk to him on Before the Bat?
Oh yeah, back in the day. That's what I was thinking. I think Todd might have been my first interview ever.
Yeah, I was thinking that actually when you said it. I was just like, oh, cool.
So this one will be great. This one I won't be like, oh. And then I figure our next movie review is probably going to be what next month? Does Shazam come out next month?
Oh, if you guys don't have to review it if you don't want to. Like, I'm super excited for it.
Oh, I want to see it.
I mean, I'm going to see it.
Like I said, I thought that was DC's best film. So,
no.
Okay. You know, even though I don't like Zachary Levi.
I recently found out like I've got like $50 in AMC points that I have to spend. So.
Okay, cool. I'm excited then.
I figure, yeah, Shazam next month, and then Guardians of the Galaxy in May.
Sounds good.
I see we're not going to do Magic Mike. That's fine.
Oh, is it still out?
Yeah, I'll do Magic Mike if you want. I've been watching the Chippendales series on Hulu. So
there you go. Get Charlie, get Justin, go do this. I'll blow it up. I'll take a time off. Come on, I'll take an episode off. Come on.
No, the whole point is making Phil see Magic Mike's last.
Oh no,
that's okay. I'll have a copy when I come down, bro.
Okay, but and is the Flash in June? Is that when it comes out?
I thought it was in May. Am I tripping?
No, they probably don't want to go up against the Marvel movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me see. I swear I thought
June 16th. Okay.
Yes, middle of June.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm excited. I'm ready. Like as I said, I honestly don't think Ezra has done anything worse than Robert Downey Jr. did in his worst day.
Holding people hostage.
He did not hold people. Look, listen.
That we know of.
Oh no! If they came out about that Rob Lowe tape, they definitely would have came out about that freaking Robert Downey Jr. back in the day. No, you don't understand. Like his dad was like encouraging people to come out against him because he really wanted him to turn his life around. So I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Rob Lowe actually made the mistake of taping things. I don't know.
All right, kids. So yeah, send your
Rob
thoughts.
Lowe turned out okay. So you know.
Yeah, exactly. He learned from his lesson, hopefully. And that's Robert Downey Jr.'s best friend, though. So I don't.
No, we all have our bad.
Keep an eye on those two, actually.
Man, I don't know how 20-year-old actors do it because I was blessed to not have my talent recognized at that young age.
It's a serious actor. All right, so we'll be doing movie reviews and like I said, the interview's coming next week. Send any of the thoughts. You can even send them for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember now, if you want to check out all the videos, the social media, the merch, you can find them all on the new website, tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. And I know it's a long address. Shut up, Lilith. It's down there in the show notes. YouTube.
Yeah, I thought you were just gonna. Yeah, there you go.
Where is Io?
Tubespace.io.
But what is Io? It's not like
Uranus?
Indonesia or
No. It's all the internet. It doesn't matter. So yes,
I mean,
go.
it actually does matter because
It is Indian Ocean territory.
Oh, Indian Ocean territory. Okay, great.
It's
I
like
got-
where all the tech people usually have their
Yeah.
domains from. That's why. Yeah.
I understand the premise.
Trust me, I was pointed that way by Lilith Hellfire. She would not point me to a anything.
Well, you know, the EE and Linktree is for Estonia, so that's a really random one. So
I'm sad that the island of .tv is sinking.
yeah, I think is that the one that's going to be like the first digital like country or something? Is that the one?
Well, I guess it's only going to exist because it is about to sink below the ocean. It's in a bad spot. It's a very lowland area, and ocean levels are rising.
Lilith
Thanks a lot,
Hellfire.
global warming.
Yeah.
Lilith Hellfire. Where can people get a hold of you?
Oh, sorry. You guys know you can only find me on TikTok. I'm almost done with the Tumblr, but I don't know if I'm going to let you guys know where my Tumblr is, because...
Oh, you gotta let me know. Come on.
I'll let you know, Phil.
Okay.
But you better keep it a secret if I tell you. But yeah, it's just Lilith Hellfire 69. Duh. At me on TikTok. Gotta follow, because my content is for friends and followers only. Not for general public internet consumption.
Oh, and hey, kids, follow our YouTube channel. We're like 10 away from 300 subscribers.
Woohoo!
We got the 269, so get us to 300, then 369.
369 and beyond.
Exactly. All right, Charlie Esser.
Well, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our mothers and
Fathers once did at Super Connectivity Blog. That's all one word. Superconnectivityblog at gmail.com. And of course,
Follow me on the Twitters as I twat stuff. That's at Charlie Esser.
that's CHARLIE.
ESSER. Look for the two E's in the middle. For
For-
what?
Oh,
Quality.
for what? Yes. For quality. Bing. Thank you, Mozzie. All right, kids. We're back, kids.
It just wouldn't be a Capes and Lunatics episode without technical issues. Who's gonna do the ampersand? We'll do it
All right,
together.
kids. For another week, we have been your Capes and
Ampersand Lunatics.
Yes, thank you, Lil Hellfire.
Poor
So again,
Charlie.
yes, join me next week for the Todd Stashwick interview, and then yes,
Is that gonna go up on this feed or?
if not before, we'll be back for Shazam: Fury of the Gods. So, and of course, you can always catch Super Connectivity
Right here on this feed, and of course, full stream ahead.
and the Ultimate Spider Cast and Marvel Tales
I
and
didn't forget you.
and full stream
I
ahead.
already said full stream.
Arg.
Suck it, Phil.
Arc. And there's always Capes Lunatics sidekicks. All
Where
right.
the real professors hang out.
Sony and Petty, that's right. All right, kids, remember, thank you for joining us and look out for the little guy.